Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. How did that fight get made, and what was your involvement?
So I did a one-fight deal with Devin. I mean, I had Devin from the early stage of his career. Good kid, very loyal. Got to a stage where he won the world title with us. We were chasing Undisputed, chasing a George Kambosos fight. Lou DiBella signed Kambosos, got some money, wanted to freeze me out with Bob. And basically, I couldn't make the fight for Undisputed. And the only way Devin could do it was to sign a 3-fight deal with Top Rank to do it.
Oh.
And it was a horrible time because 90% of fighters, 95% of fighters wouldn't have even phoned me. They would have just gone, sorry, Eddie, bye. Do you know what I mean? Because my contract was up with him.
Okay.
And he phoned me, he said, look, can you make this fight? I want to. We always said to each other, we're going to do Undisputed together. That was like our little thing. Yeah. And he's like, Bill was probably just saying, sign it, but that's fine. I understand it. But Devin was really loyal to us and good. And in the end, I said to him, mate, you got to do it. I can't deliver you the fight. And you have to take this fight.
Okay.
So he took his 3-fight deal, finished there, came back to us. We just said we'd go fight by fight. He fought Regis in San Francisco. Yeah. And then Oscar offered him the fight to fight Ryan. We came in, we helped him, we were part of the team. He looked after us as well. And yeah, I think there were a lot of mistakes in that fight. We weren't across it like we would have been if we were part of his team.
The business side.
Yeah, I think so.
It seemed from the outside looking in that the negotiations went pretty quick. Was it a tough negotiation or was it
No,
easy?
I mean, both guys, you talk about minimums, both guys rolled the dice on the numbers with no minimums, because they saw Garcia tank and saw the numbers and presumed it would replicate a similar model.
Did you think it would?
No. And I told him that. I said, this is what you'll make for the fight. And he said, no, I'll make this. And actually what he made was exactly what I said he would make. And, there were mistakes in the fight. There were mistakes around the weigh-in. There were mistakes, I think around the preparation. I mean, I respect Devin. I like the kid a lot, but sometimes I think this as well. Like you can lose your direction a little bit in terms of you think now you're that big that you know all the right decisions to make. And, when I go in and sit in that changing room and I see 30 people in there screaming and shouting, and he's putting on his essentials boots that he's had specially made for him, and it takes him 20 minutes to get them on, and you've got 4 different trainers, and I'm it's only after the fact. It's always after defeat when you make the change, isn't it? It's never when you're winning. You never look and go, actually, it's getting a bit crazy in here. I don't think this is, because you're winning.
I like to say that winning covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things that should be fixed, but the winning, you just cover it up and you keep moving.
But I think the hardest thing for Devin in that fight was what Ryan was doing.
Let me go back to the weight. Ryan came in 3 pounds over. I heard he came in, he showed up the week of the fight 15 pounds over. Don't know if you guys heard that, but I know he had some weight issues. And Ryan said that Floyd Mayweather told him not to get that 3 pounds off.
Do you believe that?
I was getting ready to ask you that.
I mean, you probably know Floyd. I bet. I don't. I wouldn't have thought so. But at that point, for the launch press conference, I met a Ryan Garcia that changed so much from the Ryan Garcia that I knew. And I don't know him that well, but I've met him a few times. Very nice guy, very, polite, great looking kid, like fresh face. And then I saw this kid at the launch press conference. This is like 8 weeks before the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the has happened to Ryan Garcia?
It's different.
Right? That was 8 weeks out. Yeah. It got so much worse to the point where at the press conference on the Thursday and the weigh-in, I'm actually looking at him going, like, 1, I can't believe he's even in this fight. 2, I can't believe people are letting him fight. And 3, is this for real or is it an act? Right? Because I think, and I had an argument with Tank a while back where I said, when he fought Ryan Garcia, I said, Tank is not an overthinker. right? He's just a bad motherfucker,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
You don't have to get in his head like, come on, Gervonta. Are you okay? Are you switched on? He's just and like, go. You know what you're doing. He didn't like that because he thought I was being disrespectful. And I probably phrased it in a wrong kind of way. But what I meant was, it's an asset. Ryan is emotionally and mentally not strong like Tank in battle, right? So sometimes you have to reassure them. You have to make, all that kind of stuff. And Devin is also, he's a young, bright, he's not, I don't think he has the same mentality as Gervonta Davis.
You don't?
I think he has a lot more assets in his mentality than Gervonta.
Okay.
But in that one where you don't, he was looking at Gervonta Davis in the ring that night, at Ryan. And I was in the ring with him. And I was looking at Devin and I was saying to him, hey, come on, look at the state of him. Like, Ryan weren't even in shape, really. I was going,
wait, what do you mean? He was
just like, I don't know what this guy's, Ryan's in the ring.
This is pre-fight?
This is in the ring.
Pre-fight?
Yeah. And Ryan's like this. Like, before they're announcing him. Like, honestly, you're looking at this kid going, what? Like, and Devin's like this. Like, thinking, I think he just did his head in. You know what I mean? And I'm saying to Devin, hey, let's switch on now, because I know he's thinking, like, is this guy for real? Don't forget, through that whole build-up, everyone's telling Devin, he ain't going to fight. I didn't think he'd make the fight.
I didn't think he was going to make it either.
You imagine training every day. I mean, Devin's a pro, good pro.
Yeah.
But still, you've got like, is he even going to show up, this guy? Next thing, you're in the ring thinking, but I think Devin is the kind of guy, every fight is different. I think you're a smart fighter. AJ's like that. You need to be, and I just feel like that through Devin, the whole
was
thing.
Was that a strategy from Garcia?
No, because afterwards he says it was. But look at what's happened since.
Continued.
He's imploded even worse.
Yeah.
There's nothing strategic about this. The guy's just, he's out there.
When did you know we got a problem?
About 30 seconds into the fight when he landed his first left hook. Did you see it? I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan looked massive. And that's when I say the mistakes. The mistake for me when you come in 3.5 pounds over, that's when you have to protect your fighter. Not financial. Not bothered about another 400, 500,000, 800,000, whatever. I will never forget, because it was one of my best educations. When you fought Paul Smith in Oakland, we had Paul Smith. Paul Smith was kind of like at the back end of his career, right? Looking really, it was a payday, right? He just lost to Arthur Abraham. Some people thought he won the fight. You wanted to do your homecoming in Oakland. Paul's heart probably wasn't in it as much. He messed up the weight, right? They come into me an hour before the weigh-in. We've got a problem. What? Paul Smith's overweight. Right. How much is he overweight? 4 pounds. Yeah. I'm like, 4 pounds. We're in Oakland, right? I've got you, I've got Jay, I've got Rock Nation, you with it. I'm like,
it's not what we need right
I'm
now.
like, I said, how much can you get off? They went, he's been working at it. He's
done.
4 pounds. Like, I go, guys, you can't be 4 pounds overweight. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we go in, we let Rock Nation know. Like, I think they found out on the scale or whatever. Anyway, I'm up there. The next thing, and I'm young at the time. How many years ago was the Paul Smith fight? 10 years? 15, yeah? Right, 2015, yeah? 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Next thing, I'm sitting with Jay in a room, right? Yeah. And he's telling me that this is all my idea, our tactic to beat you, right? I'm like, I said, Jay, I don't mean to be rude. I said, my guy can't win a round against Andre, even if he's 10 pounds heavier. No, I want this and I want that, and we want money and we want weight. You've got to reweigh tomorrow. You can't be more than this. And it was like everything that he asked for.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but listen, that's cool. He's got your back, right? Yeah. Now, he had to weigh in the next morning, right, at a specific weight. That's the standard procedure. When they do a new deal, which I wasn't involved with Golden Boy, on the weight, the first thing you do is you make Ryan Garcia weigh in on Saturday morning, right? Because if you give him the ability to just rehydrate wherever he wants to get to, you got to keep him on his toes. That's your opportunity.
Gervonta Davis did.
Yeah, but
he had a weight clause, but then he also had to reweigh.
Pre-contract. Now all of a sudden you're Friday. The guy's missed weight by 3.5 pounds. The fight's off, really. So these are the exceptions. Number one, we want money. Number two, you got to reweigh tomorrow.
For sure.
So you don't rehydrate.
For sure.
You make him sweat overnight.
For sure.
You make him panic overnight. Watch what he's eating. Watch what he's rehydrating. You know, all this kind of stuff. The no rehydration clause at that point, when he comes in heavy, is a schoolboy mistake.
Did you tell him?
Yes, and after the fact. But it was like they want to do things on their own. You know, okay, no problem. Look, like we weren't contractually involved in the fight. We had not, you know.
But you have their ear.
Yeah, and we told them. We said to the lawyer and everybody, you must make him win. No, they don't want to. They're happy. Blah blah blah. I said, okay. Now going back to UV Paul Smith, I remember the next morning we had to weigh in, and he was trying to make weight on the morning of the fight. Now you were going to beat him if he was in the shape of his life, but the advantage that you had in that respect, which you didn't need, but anyway,
I'll take it though.
Yeah, of course, because it's his fault.
Of course. And
it's Ryan Garcia's fault. And you got to punish him for that. Not just with a few $100,000, with making sure that he doesn't have a physical advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to say, and I say this a lot to people about you, after that fight, you came up to me in the ring. And the deal that I did with Jay was that he had to pay you about $125,000 extra for missing weight. And you came up to me and you said, is he a good guy? And I said, yeah, he's a great guy. He said, does he have a family? I said, yeah, he's, you know, they're all here. Blah, blah. He said, tell him to keep the $125,000. And I'll never forget that about you. That was a very nice touch. Yeah. And I didn't take any commission off the $125,000.
That's good.
But you know, that's a classy move. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, going back to the other fight, you're now, when those guys are in the ring, I'm looking over at the size of Ryan Garcia. He looked like a middleweight, right? I mean, he didn't even look really in shape, right?
I don't think he was in tip-top shape. I think he was in decent shape.
Yeah. And
you could tell because as the fight was going on, he'd have a big round, he'd throw a lot of punches. He needed a round or two to recover.
Yeah.
In tip-top shape, you get that back in 60 seconds.
But he had the ability to hurt Devin with every shot that he landed. I mean, the left hook's a powerful punch. The first round was a major problem.
It was.
Because when, you know, and it took Devin a while to get over that.
But as you're seeing this fight unfold, what are you thinking? I mean,
I'm thinking he'll gas.
Right.
Yeah, stay in the fight. Yeah. Stay in the fight. But then tactically, Devin was really poor. Like his defense was leaky. His feet weren't really there. You know, then I started thinking about how well did you make the weight here? You know, you're going through this training camp, as we said, with probably doubts in your mind as to whether this fight's even going to happen. You know, he's always tight at the weight. I mean, how he made 35, Devin, for so long. Yeah. You know, but then he got hurt, knocked out. I mean, he showed unbelievable heart. And to be honest with you, I think the defeat, particularly bearing in mind that Ryan was on PEDs in the ring, right, I think is psychologically and emotionally quite damaging for Devin. And I think it will take him a while to get over it. I don't think he'll fight this
publicly.
Year. Yeah, because I don't think people have actually given him the credit of what he went through that night. Like, he took a beating in that fight. Right, his face after the fight, his jaw was out here. He showed tremendous heart.
He did it, and not one time he could have easily taken an easy route. He could have easily whispered to his
legs were gone.
He could have blinked a certain way to the doctor.
Because they would have said,
if they checked him,
100%.
It's a million ways to get out. He never took.
So imagine going through that pain. One, that the guy's coming overweight and he's massive on the night, and you can feel it and you know it, and then finding out that the guy's popped, you know, through his pre-fight test, post-fight test, and everything.